Welcome to The Explainer. Tonight, we're diving into what might just be one of the biggest upsets in college basketball history. A true dynasty is on the brink of collapse, and a team known for heartbreak is having the game of its life. All on the biggest stage imaginable, the NCAA Men's Basketball Championship. Okay, so we're not starting at the beginning. We're dropping you right into the middle of the action, the absolute crucible moment where the game is hanging in the balance. The clock is winding down.
11. That's the number. The underdog Michigan Wolverines were up by 11 points against the UConn Huskies, a team that, let's be honest, everyone thought was basically unbeatable. You could just feel the electricity in the stadium. The pro-Wolverine crowd was starting to believe something truly historic was unfolding.
Now, you have to understand, this was not supposed to be happening. UConn was a juggernaut, going for its third title in 4 years. So to really get a grip on how shocking this moment was, we need to hit rewind and see how this incredible David versus Goliath story got set up in the first place.
You know, heading into the game, the storyline couldn't have been more black and white. It was a tale of two programs from completely different universes when it comes to winning the big one. I mean, just look at this. The difference is absolutely staggering. On one side, you've got UConn. Perfect. 6 trips to the final, 6 championships. They'd literally never lost a title game. And then there's Michigan, a program just haunted by ghosts of championships past. We're talking losses to legends like John Wooden and Bob Knight, and of course, who could forget the back-to-back heartbreaks for the Fab Five? And this is what Michigan was walking into. UConn wasn't just some good team. They were a full-blown modern dynasty. They were chasing their 7th title, and they were fresh off winning it all in both 2023 and 2024. To put it simply, they knew how to win this game better than anybody. And it wasn't just about the history books, right? The game itself was just bubbling with these little human dramas. You had UConn's big man, Terrace Reed Jr., playing against the very team he started his college career with. Michigan's star player, Yaxel Lendeborg, was out there playing on a bad ankle and a bad knee. And you've even got UConn's coach, Dan Hurley, wearing a lucky suit so old, he admitted the lining was literally falling apart. All for good luck. So, the stage was all set. Everyone was basically waiting for UConn's victory lap. The ball goes up, and the first half just completely shredded the script. So when that halftime buzzer went off, the scoreboard told a shocking story. The underdog Wolverines had fought their way to a 4-point lead. The crowd was buzzing, but I think everyone was kind of scratching their heads, wondering, how? How are they doing this? And here's the real puzzle of that first half. For their whole tournament run, Michigan lived and died by the three-pointer. In every single one of their 5 wins, they'd hit at least 10 of them. It was their identity. But now, in the biggest game of them all, they couldn't hit the broadside of a barn from deep. So how in the world were they winning? Check out this chart. It's wild. 5 made threes for UConn and a big fat 0 from Michigan. That's a 15-0 scoring advantage from three-point land. If you only saw this stat, you'd assume UConn was just running away with it. But they weren't, and here's why. It wasn't about what Michigan couldn't do, it was about what they were doing. They basically threw out their old game plan and decided to win with pure grit. First, they just kept attacking the basket over and over, which is why they got to the free throw line twice as much. And second, and this is so important, look at the turnovers, just 2 for Michigan. UConn's entire defensive identity is built on creating turnovers and getting easy buckets. By taking care of the ball, Michigan didn't just stop UConn from scoring, they took away their soul. It was just tough, smart basketball, and it was working like a charm. All right, so let's get to the second half because this is where it gets really interesting. Michigan didn't just sit on their lead. No, they came out and stepped on the gas, and they put the champions in a place they had not been the entire tournament, on the edge of a full-blown panic. Coming out of that locker room, Michigan had a clear 4-step plan. And man, it was like watching a masterclass in how to slay a giant. They executed it to perfection. So step 1, they cranked up the aggression. Michigan kept driving right at the heart of the UConn defense, and the refs just had to keep blowing the whistle. And look at the result. Key guys for UConn, Solo Ball, Silas DeMary Jr., Terrace Reed Jr., they all ended up in serious foul trouble. And that is just killer for a championship team. It's not just that your best players are sitting on the bench. It means the guys who are on the court have to play more carefully, they can't be as aggressive, and it throws the whole team's rhythm off. You know what's crazy? UConn's own Terrace Reed Jr. basically predicted it before the game. He said it was going to be a bloodbath. Well, he was right. It was an
absolute war out there, but Michigan was the one throwing all the punches.
And then it happened. The shot. The one that took this from, hey, maybe we can do this, to, oh my gosh, we're doing this. After the whole team missed 10 straight threes, a cold streak that should have buried them, Elliot Cadeau finally drains one. The second that ball went through the net, the place just exploded. That was the shot that pushed the lead to 11 and put the champs in a real, honest-to-God hold.
Which, full circle, brings us right back to where we started. The clock is ticking down, a dynasty is teetering, and an entire arena is collectively holding its breath.
So let's just be really clear about what's at stake here. The stage is set for one of the greatest upsets we have ever seen in sports. Period. Michigan has the double-digit lead, all the momentum, and a deafening home crowd. And the champions, they're rattled, they're in foul trouble, and for the first time in their program's history, they are staring at the very real possibility of losing a championship game.
And so it all comes down to this. In these final, agonizing minutes, does Michigan's long, painful history of falling just short rear its ugly head one last time? Or is this the night? Is this the moment the underdog finally slams the door, breaks the curse, and writes a completely new ending?